Golden goal ticket number 78, golden goal ticket number 78, already claimed by the same guy who won.
I've just always been fascinated by your enunciation of words. So yeah, I'm just kind of curious to know who of all the players, or perhaps a series of players over the years, have proved the most difficult and challenging to pronounce.
It's not so much it's finding out how they should be pronounced that's the challenge, because obviously with the exclusive British cast really when I started, that wasn't too difficult. There were a few regional differences, but I could always just pop into the dressing room and ask them and make sure. But now of course they're coming from all parts of the globe, so it's a real it's a personal choice sometimes for the players. I like to pronounce them as they grew up pronouncing it themselves, but when I say as they grew up pronouncing it themselves, some of them get to a higher level and decide that they want to change their pronunciation, or they go to another country and decide they want to anglicise their name and come here. But I don't go along with that. I'd rather go back to what they came in with.
Indeed,
because that's what we've had before with them. And it's a big issue, pronunciation, but the rule of thumb is, and I would say it to any aspiring commentator, do what you're comfortable with.
And any player who you always loved to pronounce, regardless of how difficult their name might be?
The short names are always the ones that you punch out. Middlesbrough years ago had a centre-half called Stuart Bohm, and every time he headed, we've lost our batteries, but I'm sure the camera's still working. Every time he headed the ball, he wanted to go boom, because he was a big, that's all he did, headed away.
Well, so you wanted to kind of combine the two.
Yeah,
with one
but now
swift
we've got like Djemba-Djemba, whose name is Bar, and not Djemba-Bar, but it's somehow easier to say Djemba-Bar all the time. We don't say Ryan Giggs all the time, but with, people probably think around the world that his name is like Djemba-Djemba, you know, like we had at Manchester United a few years ago. But listen, the calling the names is, as long as I don't irritate you with the way I do it, then we're fine, because that's the worst thing a commentator can do, is to interrupt the enjoyment of the game. And that's been my challenge every working day of my life, not to do that, and I hope I've succeeded to some extent.